I'm Marley and my bra size is a 32E. So I'm a singer and songwriter and I've been doing music for quite a few years, and I studied in Leeds and I did popular music, which was really cool, met really awesome people, and at the moment we're doing quite a lot of gigs. Like this point last year, I keep telling people this story because I really believe in kind of like manifestation and all that kind of stuff, and I had a vision board that said I really wanted to be able to travel with my music, mainly just travel, but if I could do it with my music that would obviously be amazing. And this year we've kind of opened up for some really cool people, which I didn't think would ever happen, but it happened, so I'm very grateful for that. And then we're going to do the Great Escape Festival in Brighton this year, which isn't that far to travel, but it's still travelling, so I'm appreciative of that. And we've also got a couple of slots at Soundwave and Outlook Festival, which are both in Croatia. So I'm feeling super grateful for that, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Well, I feel like growing up was quite strange because I had a larger area than all my friends, so I always felt like a bit of the outsider, because everyone was kind of like, oh, like, why have you got such big boobs? And I was kind of like, don't know, I was just born with them, sorry. Yeah, and I think growing up was like the weirdest part. I kind of got them from my mum, so at least I had someone to talk to about it, and she kind of from a very early age like took me shopping and we picked out some nice stuff when La Senza used to be a thing, but I don't think they're a thing anymore. But I used to shop there quite a lot, and I found like really pretty bras because I realised very early on that larger sizes don't have very pretty bras. So I always struggled with that, and it was always just really plain and boring. So yeah, I've always struggled to find that something that's been nice, so I kind of just go for the really basic things nowadays. Just much more like interactive, much more calm. Sometimes it can just be like really like basic, if that makes sense, and you don't really feel like it's actually taken into consideration maybe what you like or what you don't like. And everything here is really beautiful anyway, so I kind of just liked everything. But yeah, you guys have been really nice, so yeah, very welcoming. Again, growing up, I've always been very tall, but I've always been very small, and I really didn't enjoy being like the tallest person when I was growing up. And I used to dance quite a lot as well, actually, so sports bras was always an issue because there were always ones that were like either too big or were too tight. So it was always really difficult to find the right thing, especially like doing ballet, and you just don't need them to be like all over the place. I imagine like same if anyone goes to the gym, kind of a similar thing. But I've kind of just like grown to embrace it now a bit more, and I've also never really worn like tops or shirts that have ever kind of like shown any cleavage, and I didn't really notice that I did that, like it wasn't intentional, but maybe that was like a subconscious thing where it's like, you know, there's a whole thing about like body shaming and stuff at the moment, and I follow a lot of people on Instagram like Sunny Turner who are like really promoting like body confidence and not being ashamed of anything, and like being on a little bit of a plus size or anything like that. So I really like that, and I think it's kind of given me more confidence as ever to wear like a top that was a bit more revealing. I don't feel as intense about it anymore, and I kind of just feel a bit more relaxed. I wouldn't like actively say I'm a feminist, but I definitely kind of agree with a lot. Again, going back to like the body shaming and like the sexualization, that's like a really big word for me on a Thursday morning, of women. And I think it's really important to kind of just talk about all the things and make sure that people are aware. And we had International Women's Day not too long ago, and I've always kind of like taken part in like a lot of gigs and stuff and talks to do with like women and inspirational women to me. I think it's really important to just kind of be aware that women are important too. I mean, I have quite a lot. I mean, they're mainly all just like singers, really. Like, I think everyone loves Beyonce, don't they? So she's definitely one for me. And I think she, again, like, is kind of like an advocate for like confidence. And I think when I danced when I was younger and when I was kind of like knowing that I wanted to do singing, I think she gave me a lot of confidence because she kind of had like an alter ego, and I felt like when I was on stage I could kind of not be someone else, but that was like who I really wanted to be, because I was quite shy when I was growing up. But I think now I've like grown up a little bit and I've had lots more experience and like travelled a bit on my own. I feel like much more open and confident in everything that I do. This has kind of only just come about for me really in the last 6 months, and I've been watching a lot of documentaries, and I think it's just so, like, we can get so much information on all of this now, and I think it's actually quite scary how un-eco-friendly we all are as like a race, and it does bother me, and I try so hard not to buy, you know, things in plastic, and I reuse a lot of things. Like, I love using my coffee cup and I plonk it on the side. I'm like, can you use this please, not a throwaway one. I think it's just really important, because at the end of the day we all have to be on this planet, and our kids and our grandkids and their kids are going to be here one day, so why not just create a better space for them. And recently I'm from Manchester, and I reached out to my local council, and I'm trying to get a meeting with my local MP to talk about how we can kind of come together and produce less waste just there, you know, start small, and hopefully it will, you know, travel and grow a bit bigger, so we'll see. I think the main thing is to really, it sounds really like cheesy, but just be yourself. And I was talking to this about someone yesterday, and saying, you know, you feel like you really like something that someone's doing, so you feel like you kind of want to incorporate that into whatever you're doing, and that's fine, you can take inspiration from that, but I think it's so important to just do what feels right for you. Don't ever feel pressured to produce something that you don't like, or wear something you don't want to wear, or look a certain way you don't want to look. I think it's just really important, because I think that's kind of when you start to get into the dark territory, and maybe the creativity is just kind of taken away from you, and I think that that just takes all the fun away. So I think kind of just staying true to you, and like trusting your instinct as well, I would say.